Emergency Response Liberty County is a roleplay game, but roleplay can be quite difficult to understand if you actually want to do it really realistically. For example, there's hundreds of different police codes you need to know. You need to know all of the different sections and all of that boring stuff, but I've kind of summed it up for you all in this video and made it in the most basic way possible with all of the main codes that you might need to know for both UK and American roleplay. We'll do American first and then we'll move on to UK afterwards. If you do enjoy this video, or of course if you find it helpful, please make sure you drop a like and subscribe. If you don't like it, dislike it, but let's get straight into it. Alright then, so let's get straight into the American ones. Now I do want to point out, as I did say earlier, I don't live in America, so I don't know the American ones all too well, but we're gonna try them out anyway. I've got the main ones noted down that, you know, I've researched and whatever, so let's get straight into it. So on this notepad here, it has all of the ones that you may need mostly. So it has 10-0-0, which is officer down, all patrols respond. Then it has 10-0, which is use caution. 10-1 is you are being received poorly / cannot copy. 10-2 is clearly, signal is strong. 10-3 is stop transmitting. 10-4 is affirmative / understood / message received / I know what you mean. Everyone knows what 10-4 is pretty much. Everyone says like 10-4, you know. 10-5 is relay message. 10-6 is busy / outer on a call. So 10-6 means that you're not actually able to respond to anyone else's calls right now. 10-7 is out of service completely, which means that you're not in service anymore for however long it may be, and it means that you are not available for any calls. 10-8 means in service, which means you are on duty and available. Then it kind of skips down to 10-24, which is emergency backup / emergency at the police station, I think. And then 10-31 is crime in progress / in pursuit, so you're witnessing a crime or you're in pursuit or something. And then 10-32 is a person with a gun, so in ERLC especially, that is a very important one because everyone has a gun in ERLC. 10-33 is emergency, all units stand by, which means all units be ready for an emergency to come through where you're gonna have to go. 10-41 is begin duty and 10-42 is end duty. And then we move on to these ones here, which is 10-45. So you have different sections, which is how people are injured. So 10-45D is the person has died, C is critical, B is serious, A is good, and 10-45 with no letters after it just means the general condition. It's just talking about the condition of the patient, not if it's good or bad or whatever. And then we have 10-46, which is a motorist assist, which I think means that they need help with a motorist. And then 10-47 is emergency road repair, which I don't really know what that means. And then 10-52 is ambulance needed, which obviously means they need an ambulance. And this here is probably the most important bit of them all. Obviously you need to know all of this because you need to be able to communicate on the radio, but this one is very important as well, because what they say when you actually get arrested in the UK and in America is much different. It's sort of similar, but it's still very different, and it's very important that you get it right. So they say this pretty much exactly the same. So in America they say, I am placing you under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Do you understand? You'd add on to the end, but it's not here for this example, but that's what you would say, right? And that's pretty simple. Most people like learn this off by heart just after a few times of saying it. Like you will just know. Once you arrest someone so many times, you'll know, and it's really easy to just get that right. So yes, this is all of the basic American stuff that you will need. If you want to screenshot this now, go ahead and screenshot it. It's got all of the codes, it's got what you will say when you arrest someone, and hopefully this will actually help you quite a lot. There we go. I've made it much bigger for you, so screenshot this now if you want to, because this is all what's really important. You've got all of the codes, you've got the message you'll say when you arrest someone as well. So yes, this is very important. But now let's move on to the UK. So here we are then. In the UK it is much different. They do not use police codes in the UK. We use state codes. So it's pretty much the same, except there's only 16 state codes in the entirety of the UK. Obviously you've got all of the sections in the UK, which cause so much confusion. There's literally thousands of different sections, like section 32 part A, section B-2A or whatever, some random rubbish. I'm sure something like that exists in America as well, but in the UK it is very confusing because we have a lot of stupid people in the UK, as in they like to argue it, and unless you know the exact section they'll be like, no, you can't arrest me, blah. Anyway, that's for a different time. So we have status 0, which is emergency assistance. So when you press your panic button in the UK, you would shout state 0, blah 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 blah, and then emergency assistance. That is it. Then you have state 1, which means on duty. So state 1 is what you would say when you're first coming on duty as a police officer, when you're first getting in your car, getting your uniform on, everything like that. And you have state 2, which is on patrol. That's the main one. State 3 is at station but available. State 4 is refreshment, so like lunch break, or you know, getting a drink or whatever at Starbucks, I don't know. Then state 5 is en route to the incident. So when you get a call through on the radio, you'd be like blah blah blah, your call sign state 5, and then that means you're responding to the incident. Then when you get there, the first thing you say is call up radio and say state 6 on scene. And then these two people usually get confused with, but I know these quite well now. So state 7 means that you're already on a job, but if you need to go to another job, you can. So if you're on like a job, I don't know, like someone's stole a chocolate bar from a corner shop, right? But then if a shooting comes in and you're a firearms officer, it means you're already committed to this little robbery at the shop with the chocolate bar, but if a shooting comes through, you can still go to that because you're not on a major scene. State 8 means you're on a scene, so say you're on the scene of a shooting and then a call comes through about someone stealing the chocolate bar, it means you're not deployable because you're already on a major scene, which is the shooting, for example. Then state 9 means prisoner escort, so when someone's being transported to prison, that's what state 9 means. State 10 means you're at court. State 11 means you're off duty. State 12 means confidential message. State 13 means non-urgent callback, which means you don't need to be replied to instantly or called back by someone instantly. State 14 means you do urgent callback, and then state 15 is received, or state 16 is repeat. But we don't really say state 15 and 16, it's more just copy that, blah 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 blah, you know, just the normal stuff. In real life, they don't use all of these codes exactly as they are because obviously you have to base each situation off what you're going off. And then when you're arresting someone in the UK, this is exactly what you say. If you Google this exact definition comes up, and this is quotation marks. This is exactly word for word what they say. It says you don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defense if you do not mention when questioned something that you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. That is set in stone. Every single time I've seen someone get arrested or heard or seen on the news or whatever, they say them exact words word for word, and it never changes. They might add again, do you understand, on the end, but that's kind of optional, I guess. So yeah, this is what you'd say. This is the UK. You've had America up here, so again, if you want to screenshot the UK one, then everything is just here for you to screenshot. And that is all for this video, of course. So there's a lot going on here that we've talked about, a lot of different things. If you did enjoy it, please make sure that you drop a like and subscribe. Check out everything else from the description, of course. Thank you very much for watching. I did hope this helped you out, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye.